Hey guys, it's Scott Clark with Scooter Media, and in today's video we're talking about this little guy here, the DJI Mini 2. It's been 1 year since this bad boy's been released, and in today's video I'm going to go over my thoughts on the drone after using it for 1 year. On this channel we provide filmmaking tutorials and tips and tricks, as well as doing some product reviews, so if you are new here, please consider subscribing. Let's get into it. Okay guys, as you can see behind me here, there's a bit of a dead-end bridge, and my plan for today is I am going to put the drone up in the air. I haven't had a chance to use it as much as I'd like to. So for today, I'm just going to get some shots of the dead-end bridge. There's a little river that runs underneath it here. So I'm just going to put the drone up in the air, get some shots, and we'll go over my thoughts and, you know, some of the pros and cons of the little Mini 2. Okay, so let's get it up in the air. Got our drone up in the air, let's go do some flying. Okay guys, we got our drone up in the air, it's right above me. I just want to comment, my first thing I want to touch on is just how easy this drone is to fly. If you're a beginner or intermediate, this is the drone you're going to want to look at because it's so easy to fly. It is under the 250 grams, which we'll touch on a little bit later. It's super easy to fly, and I'm just going to go out and get some more shots here and fly around. But yeah, that's the first thing I just wanted to touch on, was just the simplicity of flying this thing. It's so easy. Okay, we brought her back just to change the battery. We'll get her up in the air in a second again. But the next thing I just wanted to talk about is just the overall image quality of this thing. I know some people that don't have the drone might be wondering, you know, is the picture quality any good out of this little drone? And I can honestly say the 4K image out of this thing is amazing. The one thing I will mention, you don't get any picture profiles, so you're basically shooting in the regular standard picture profile. There's no log or anything like that. But the actual image quality coming out of this thing is superb. It is sharp, it looks great, you don't have to do a lot with it. And overall, I've just been super happy with the image quality. I started out with the Phantom 3, and it did have log, but I still think the image quality out of this guy is still a little bit sharper. And I also believe the image quality out of this guy blows the Mavic Mini 1 out of the water. I did own that drone as well. I literally bought that thing, and 2 months later this thing came out, and I was on the fence about whether I should just sell the other drone and upgrade to this. And let me tell you, it is totally worth the upgrade from the Mini 1 to this one. And again, image quality is amazing. Just have a look at some of these shots that I took today, and you can just tell that, you know, the image is superb, it's sharp, it's crisp. I couldn't ask for anything better out of a little drone like this. Okay guys, the next thing I wanted to touch on was just the overall transmission of this thing, and it's another thing that it really has going for it over the previous drones, and that is that it does have Occusync 2.0 in it. And what that means is that the transmission between the remote and the drone is going to be solid, meaning like when you've got it up in the air, the last thing you want to have happen is that you lose connection between the remote and the drone, which I have had happen, and it is very nerve-wracking. But with this drone, honestly, I don't think I've ever had it disconnect from the drone. So I mean, having that peace of mind and being able to be confident that the drone is going to stay up in the air and you're going to have connection and be able to control it is definitely a good thing, and it has been fantastic with this drone. So another great thing I can say about this drone. The next thing we're going to look at is the quick shots built into the Mini 2. And some of these shots are really excellent. If you're a beginner and don't know your way around the remote so much and you really want to get some cinematic shots, this is the way to go. You literally set the quick shots up inside and just hit the button and the drone does all the work for you. And they really do look cinematic and pretty cool. So let me show you a few examples of those. So the first one we're going to do here is called the Droney. So let's have a look at that. Okay guys, we're just doing the rocket now, so we'll have a little look at that next. Here's the rocket. Okay guys, the next quick shot we're going to do is the circle, so let's have a little look at that. The next one we're going to do is called Helix. So let's have a look and see what that one looks like. Here we go. Okay guys, and the last one we're going to do now is called the Boomerang. So let's have a look at that one. Here we go. The next thing I wanted to talk about was literally the size of this thing. And I mean, look at, here's my phone. This is the Galaxy S9 Plus. You can't even see it, it's that small. And I think, honestly, that is the biggest factor that this thing has going for it. It is under 250 grams. So for me here in Canada, that means I can fly it without any license. I don't have to take a course. There's not really a whole lot of rules. I shouldn't say there's a whole lot of rules. You have to fly safely and keep it away from airports and you know, be smart about it. But there's no license, which I think is probably the biggest benefit of owning this drone is the overall size. You can travel with it, you can throw it in a pocket. And I find because it is so small, I do use it more because it's just so easy to throw in the bag, go to a shoot, bust it out, and then you've got your drone shots. And I think, honestly, that's the best feature that this has going for it is its size, weight, and just portability. It's just super small, super portable. And again, like it's just, my phone is bigger than the drone. Like it doesn't get any smaller than that. And all the features that they've managed to pack into this small drone is just phenomenal. As far as negatives are concerned with the DJI Mini 2, there aren't very many. If anything, I have a wish list for the Mini 3, and that would be some sort of obstacle avoidance. This thing has no obstacle avoidance, so you do have to be careful when flying the thing or doing your quick modes or those sort of things because it will fly into the trees. There's zero obstacle avoidance on this thing. And the only other thing that I would really like to see is some sort of tracking. I know some of the bigger drones do have that. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to get tracking into this thing and keep it under 250 grams. But again, just something to think about. Wish list for the Mini 3. And honestly, this thing is so perfect, I really don't have anything negative to say about it. All right, guys, I've literally gone through 3 batteries. I'd actually forgotten how much fun this thing is to fly. So I just wanted to sum up my thoughts. Hopefully I've gone through enough of the features that this thing has. It's feature packed. For a little sub 250 gram drone, this thing's got basically everything you need in it. It's got 4K, up to 30 frames per second. You can do 60 frames per second in HD. It has zoom. I don't use that a whole lot, but it is another feature that's built in. Again, we talked about the Occusync, the image quality, just the foldability and travelability and size and weight with not having to get a license. I just think, honestly, this is the best drone for the money on the market right now. I have no idea when the Mini 3 is coming out. I hope nobody gets burned like I did. I literally had the Mini 1 for about 2 months when this thing was released, so I had to sell that and get a new one. But honestly, it's been totally worth it. I think this thing is worth every penny. The only thing I would suggest, if you are in the market for this, I would go for the Fly More combo. You do get a couple extra batteries and a charger and a nice carrying bag and that. So I do think that is worth it. But again, guys, really happy with this drone. I can't recommend it enough. If you are in the market for one, I will leave a link in the description if you want to go check that out. Hey guys, if you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, as it really does make a difference. And I would love to have you join me on this YouTube journey. If you're interested in checking out how to edit the footage that we just took out of the DJI Mini 2, there's a link right here. I have put together a beginner course on how to edit the footage, and if you'd like to check that out, the link's right here. Thanks for watching today's video. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.